Well, the man that Batista will be facing at Survivor Series, Rey Mysterio, is in action next. He'll go one-on-one with the mountainous Mike Knox here on Friday Night SmackDown.
This Monday, after Sharon and Ozzy Osbourne turned Raw into their own personal Ozfest.
Let the madness begin!
Who will deliver the knockout punch when Great Britain's own Ricky the Hitman Hatton guest hosts Monday Night Raw? Raw live this Monday at 9, only on USA.
Contest is scheduled for one fall. Making his way tonight from San Diego, California, weighing in at 175 pounds, Rey Mysterio.
Well, after being attacked both physically and emotionally, here stands a conflicted yet proud warrior. A man who has seemingly lost his brother in arms and is left searching for answers, Rey Mysterio.
And if there's anything you want to know about Rey Mysterio and yet don't yet know, you can find out next Tuesday.
That's right, Rey Mysterio Behind the Mask, the book. I have an advanced copy. I personally like some of the stuff, the impact of Eddie Guerrero on Rey Mysterio's career in the WWE, and also the inside story of the 619 and the West Coast Pop, and how Rey came up with some of his signature maneuvers. Very interesting read.
Yeah, and how Rey Mysterio had to overcome so many obstacles just to get a tryout in the ring. It's a great read, and it's available next Tuesday. You've got to be wondering what's going on behind the mask right now in Rey Mysterio's mind, and everything that's going on with Batista.
And from Phoenix, Arizona, weighing in at 293 pounds, Mike Knox.
Well, earlier tonight, Matt, we learned that it'll be Rey Mysterio and Batista at Survivor Series tonight. Rey Mysterio has to face, yet again, a bigger, stronger opponent.
Well, Rey Mysterio is in there with a misunderstood recluse, Mike Knox. Knox spends most of his time in his cabin up in the mountains of Arizona just reading countless books on human anatomy, just stare into the eyes of Mike Knox.
And tonight, Knox will attempt to dissect Rey Mysterio. Have you had a lengthy conversation with Mike Knox? Have you tried to speak to this man?
Actually, yes. Mike and I have had many long, intelligent conversations.
He's a mad scientist. Rey Mysterio will face a big challenge in this match, dealing with the pure power that Mike Knox provides.
Well, here's the deal. Rey Mysterio is going to use this match to prepare himself for a larger opponent, as usual. That is Batista. Rey Mysterio has the ability to use an opponent's size against him. That is what Rey brings to Friday Night SmackDown.
Well, Rey Mysterio is the giant killer. We've seen him go toe-to-toe. And look out! Setting up for the 619 early here. And knocks wisely out of the way. Or is he? Mysterio. Chasing Knox. Crossbody. It just erased Mysterio from the screen.
Mike Knox using the girth of his own torso to eliminate Rey Mysterio on the outside. Man, that's worth a second look, huh?
Well, Mysterio rolling the dice here instead. Wow.
Now Mike Knox will seemingly work on the chassis, the midriff of Rey Mysterio. The core.
Mike Knox, a menacing soul. And now going for a cover here. Two. Rey Mysterio able to kick out. But things not going like Rey Mysterio had hoped here in the early going. You know, Rey Mysterio's beaten some of the biggest superstars in the WWE. Kane, Big Show, and from the great Khali, but none offer perhaps the same physical and emotional challenge that Batista will provide.
Well, you touched upon it. Rey Mysterio has never been under as much emotional duress and confliction as Rey Mysterio is enduring right now at this point in his storied career.
Well, do you think Rey Mysterio is mentally in the moment right now in this match against Mike Knox?
Well, the answer came in that in-depth interview as we take another look at the punishment that Rey Mysterio is willing to endure.
Cover.
Rey said that we will see a side of Rey Mysterio that we have never known to exist. What exactly does that mean?
Well, Mysterio told Batista, listen, whatever's gotten into you, I'm going to get it out at Survivor Series. Did you see how the steely eyes of Batista during that interview with Josh Matthews? It was as if he had no care about anything or anyone else in the world except for his own vices.
Well, look, Batista blames Rey Mysterio for not being world's heavyweight champion. And whereas some agree with Rey's approach of forgiveness, I personally subscribe to the old saying. You know what they say about nice guys? ... Fill in the blank.
Well, Mysterio, former world champion, he's a very nice guy. In fact, told Batista, I would have never even entered the match if I'd known this was going to happen at Bragging Rights. And yet, here we are. Mike Knox getting angrier by the second. But for, it seemed like a moment there, Knox lost his focus.
Well, it could have also been the speed and wherewithal of Rey Mysterio that turned this match around.
Mysterio, a baseball slide. But he's not safe yet as Knox quickly back into the ring and that shoulder block. This may do it. Covering a near fall.
Gosh, I ask myself this every time I watch Rey Mysterio. What does it take to beat Rey Mysterio?
Mike Knox will try to provide that answer in this match, a match which he now appears to be in complete control of.
After big matches like this, Rey Mysterio and Batista used to get together and ride down the roads. They would talk about their matches. They would sit over countless hours of coffee and dinner and strategize. And now Rey Mysterio is missing that aspect from his career. How will that affect Rey Mysterio going into the Survivor Series?
Well, Mysterio said it was like a family member walked out on me. That's what he considers Batista to be. And now again, Knox has Mysterio's leg hooked. Another 2 count.
You can see those tattoos all over the body of Rey Mysterio. Several of those are an homage to the friendship that Mysterio and Batista have shared.
You have to be impressed with what you've seen from Mike Knox, not only tonight, but the past couple of weeks here on Friday Night SmackDown.
Interesting choice of submission holds here. The abdominal stretch is further amplified by Knox's height advantage.
And while Knox's style may not be aesthetically pleasing, it does seem to work. That is until that moment.
They say a man is only as strong as his neck. Mike Knox was just compressed right there.
Rey Mysterio has beat the odds his entire life. And tonight must find a way to beat a 300-pound menacing man named Mike Knox.
And there's a sign of the physics.
2-0.
That Rey Mysterio employs, using Mike Knox's own strength and momentum against himself.
Rey Mysterio has a passion, a fire that burns deep inside his soul that will never allow him to give up in a match.
But that passion was shared with his brother-in-arms, Batista, and that relationship is gone.
Mysterio trying to find a way out right now. Those shots, Mysterio giving as good as he gets now. And a seated senton from Mysterio. And now quickening the pace with a tree trunk-like clothesline